I'm very tired today, Lori.
I know you are. I knew you would be. You've been through a planes, trains, and automobile experience.
There was no train. There was a
No
Kia.
train. It was a
Kia
Kia.
Sportage. No, and I had a blast. I got to go with our friend Missy, go see her daughter, son-in-law, and grandchild. Flight went off without a hitch Friday night, and was supposed to come back without a hitch last night. And she kept getting texts, oh, it's delayed. Then they said it was a maintenance issue. That was a red flag to me because I don't want to get on a plane that's a maintenance issue.
No, if it's delayed, I would be, yes. So
but at the same time, I needed to get home.
Right.
So responsibilities.
You called me.
Because you answered.
Nobody. I was already asleep.
Not that I didn't. You're my best friend on the planet, of course. But I was trying to call Jimmy at the house, let him know. And nothing. I'm like, I'm calling Lori because she cares if something happens to me.
Well, you're on emergency bypass with my kids.
Exactly. You are.
So when my phone rang, I'm like, oh my God, wake up. It's somebody because I'd been in bed since 10.
It is scary when that happens.
So when I answered and you said, our flight got canceled. I'm like, you're in North Carolina, for God's sakes. You can drive home.
Oh, yeah. We did. I haven't slept in 20
I know. You're going to crash.
8 hours. I had a blast. But I'm almost like wired. And I'm like, And it was funny because when we were texting earlier on our podcast thing, Doug was like, oh, we get punchy, Shayna, today. But it's weird. It's a weird feeling. It's like this. I can see now why they do this as torture for sleep deprivation.
I get physically sick when I don't sleep.
I might get physically sick later.
Yeah.
You're feeling very, very
once you cross that threshold that you've been up too long, you do get a little punchy. But I may get punchy and throw up on you. And I may physically punch you. I don't do no sleep. I need sleep.
You would never punch me.
Not
you know, have you ever seen that movie?
Else.
Have you ever seen the movie Dazed and Confused?
Yes.
I know what that movie's about. But that's kind of how I feel. I'm like,
just wait as the day goes on.
It feels like
you need to go home soon.
In the cartoons when something runs by and there's like a little behind them, it's like it's a slow-mo thing, but not.
That's what you're going to be doing soon.
Mm-hmm. I need to go pass out. But I'm so excited today to get to talk to the Chief of Police at Tavares, Sarah Corsey. She's doing amazing things. I've said for a long time, I love following Tavares Police Department on Facebook. I love because they make it so personable. They introduce their officers and Tavares is a really cool city. It has so much going for it. It's growing leaps and bounds. And so I'm so excited to talk to her and see what's going on over there with her.
Welcome to the Style Podcast, presented by Plaza Cadillac and Plaza Lincoln, where our drive to be the best starts with you.
Welcome to the Style Podcast. We'd like to thank our presenting sponsors, Plaza Cadillac and Plaza Lincoln. We're very excited to have Police Chief Sarah Corsey with us. Thank you for joining us today. Shayna and I have been loving your Facebook page, your social media pages. We've been watching everything that the police department has been doing there, and we think it's fantastic that you are a female. I know you don't want to touch on that very much, but we think it's great that you're a female and you're a police chief.
Oh, thank you.
That's
Happy
awesome.
to be here.
I love it. I will say this. The one thing I love so much, I will say about your social media page is that I like how you introduce the officers. Mm-hmm. And so they're not just... It's not just a cop in a car or a cop doing this. When you can make it a more personable approach and you humanize them because even though we know they're humans, how people are sometimes.
Right.
It's so cool to see that.
Well, we want to have the community feel like they know their officers because the average citizen doesn't encounter police on a day-to-day basis.
Which is probably a good thing.
Which is a good thing, but unless you get in a car accident or you pass them in the grocery store, you pass them at the Circle K or Wawa, you might not see an officer.
I do love the Wawa across the
My guys are
I know,
there,
like me.
But that way they go, oh, that's Officer so-and-so, and that community gets to know who their cops are, because that's who's there whenever you need us. And when they want to make a phone call, they know, oh, hey, I remember them, or it's easier to talk to. You put a face to a name.
Makes you more approachable.
Sure.
It
Makes everybody more human.
It does. And so here's my thing. How much have you seen change since?
So the command staff, we've developed, and we've all kind of grown up in the department together. So we saw a need to be more community oriented. And so I will say since I took over, we've really developed that community ties. It's important to me. The charity has really, really taken off. That's near and dear to my heart, and we're able to give back to the community. I've seen the community grow, and as the population's increased, it's so important to me and my team that we still stay so ingrained in the community that it doesn't feel like a big city, that it still feels like that small town and everybody knows everyone. And we can kind of, we still wave and people wave to us, and we're very fortunate in Lake County that the community does back law enforcement.
We do. It is crazy to me as much as we grow here because the traffic's unbelievable that you do still have a small town feel. No matter how many new people move to the area, I feel like we still have that in most of our cities here in towns, don't you?
I agree. I think like around the Leesburg area, since we are in the downtown part, we see the Leesburg police officers coming and going because they're stationed downtown. But what are some of the ways that you guys really stay focused? I know like Leesburg, because we're here, we see it all the time. They have National Night Out. What are you guys doing to stay close to the community and staying involved with some community
we participate in the National Night Outs. We do both. We're doing the one in Eustis, I believe, tonight in Leesburg. So I have a community officer that's,
That's cool.
We went to Claremont even. So we do those things as well. But we do a Citizens Police Academy. That's twice a year, and anybody can sign up that's in the Tavares area, and I can approve some outside of the area. And they come in and they learn about the department from everything we do till, prosecution. And they get hands-on, ride along, they get to see our gun range.
Okay, I want to be an out of area approval.
We may need to
Can I
sign
do
up
that?
for that.
We'll sign you up, yeah. We're going to have another, it is so much fun. And everybody leaves there going, oh, that's why they do what they do. Sometimes, an officer tries to explain best they can, why something isn't criminal, maybe it's civil, or our hands are tied in certain aspects. So they see that, through the state attorney's office and how everything is done, it's a more hands-on approach. So we do that. I love the Citizens Police Academy because then it gives us volunteers. Because then they come and they want to help when we do events. We do a big charity event. Our next one is October 24th is our golf tournament. And we're 501c3 under the Mount Dora Community Trust. So all that money, all those proceeds go straight to the nonprofit, which helps us give back to the community in ways of, we do Christmas, we help the homeless, we help, single mothers, we do back to school backpack bash, and we also get with the guidance counselors at the schools to say, all right, yeah, we're doing the backpack bash for hundreds, we do 300 or 400 backpacks, but give us some families that need some extra. What do they need? Clothes, shoes, above and beyond.
Right.
So, and we just rebuilt it's called the Tiny Library in Ingraham Park. It caught fire. So our charity was able to take those funds and give back to the community. So we do that. And our guys and girls, I'm big on stopping, saying hi to people when you're out in the community. Try to have a smile on your face, even if you're having a bad day. Because again, I said most people don't run into cops on a day-to-day basis. Let the kids know we're here for them, the community that we're here for them. So that's what
I love that. So that it's not just when you're in a time of need or there's an issue, you're approachable and human, and they see you as that, not just somebody that's kind of scary.
Yeah, you're just not a uniform.
Right.
Like, you have, that's why we showcase them on the Facebook. They have hobbies outside of their job. Yeah, they love their career, but their moms, their dads, their brothers, their sisters, their friends, some are mentors, some, are little league coaches. They have such a wide variety of interests that we want to showcase. Hey, we're a uniform, we're here for you in an emergency, but hey, that's Sarah, or that's Jared, that's John, they know who we are. Mm-hmm. And, sometimes that's good. And, you go out and you're not in uniform.
Not good.
Everybody recognizes you out of uniform. You're
It's
like,
funny.
oh, no, it's,
That is so true. I taught school for a while, and it was a running joke. A lot of times, it was so crazy when the kids would see you out somewhere. First of all, there was kind of like,
you're not where you're supposed to be.
yeah, you have you
don't
don't
live at the
there.
school?
But then it's so funny. So it is cool to, to see that interaction. And again, it's true. So many people, I think, are weary of law enforcement in a lot of ways when they shouldn't be. Mm-hmm. I think humanizing the uniform makes a big difference, a huge difference.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's one of our big goals with the Facebook. That's kind of why it was started in the beginning stages.
I'm going to be honest. I only follow pages that really either make me laugh, make me smile. Really, one thing I do love about your page too is you bring community involvement. So like if you want the community to help, hey, do you recognize this person? Yeah. Social media can be a really great thing and a really bad thing, I know. But one thing it's good for is things like that. Like one person shares it and someone on their friends list sees something and then somebody's arrested for some, like something.
Right, it just identified the person.
Yes.
I mean, I was a detective years and years ago, and we didn't have the social media back then. So if we couldn't recognize someone in a surveillance video and the victim didn't know them, and we'd give it to intel, and if that face wasn't recognizable, the case was kind of closed.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Now, if we don't have somebody through those means, they go on Facebook, and I'm telling you, people in the comments will even tag the person sometimes. This you? And I'm like, oh my God, like they just.
And joy.
What's funny is my 14-year-old son, who you would never think would know anything about law enforcement in Lake County or other counties in Florida, is aware of all this, and he's like, oh my gosh, they're like celebrities, they've got this page, and I'm like, what, like, how do you know this? But it's because it's opened up a whole new generation of people and kids that are younger that follow you guys and follow other law enforcement around the county and the state to pay attention. It's just amazing to me.
It is.
We would have never paid attention to that when we were younger.
No, and it does. I think it reaches all ages. Facebook, and I know I have a middle schooler, and she's like, "Mom, Facebook's for old people."
Yes.
But you know what? We still use it, and they use it because they're following it too.
Yeah.
So, but it does. Like, we're able to reach pretty much everybody, and we have a big following where we can put those community events out. And I think the only one that I was ever like, guys, don't post me. They said, happy birthday, happy 21st birthday, Chief. People believed that.
Like, you look really young.
I appreciate that. But to the point, I had friends like sending me messages that it went like viral to, I don't follow the cop pages, but it was like a cop page that people follow nationwide that's like, how could she be chief at 21? I mean, did she start like, look at her hash marks? And other people were like, wait, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
They believed it, but I'm going to be honest. Lately, I've been falling for the AI videos. Like, there's all this. I was like, this is real. This lady's feeding this bear. What is going on?
I've seen that one too.
Oh my God, it's not real. It's not real.
I've seen that one too. Her whole hand goes in.
Yeah.
I mean, I took the compliment. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like 21 times 2 in a couple of years.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
I'm like, thanks for Botox, I guess. But
Exactly.
I feel the same way. Mine's setting in. Thank you, Amanda.
Yes. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back in just a moment.
Drive home your new Lincoln during our summer invitation event. Enjoy 0% for 48 months and 2 years free maintenance on our large selection of 25 Corsair, Nautilus, and Aviator. Or take $5,000 off remaining 24 Nautilus. Stop in today to see the all-new 25 Navigator, completely redesigned with our most luxurious interior ever, featuring a 48-inch curved display and 24-way massaging seats. Plaza Lincoln in Leesburg, across from the airport. Our drive to be the best starts with you.
Welcome back to the Style Podcast. Today we're talking to the Chief of Police of Tavares. Thanks again for joining us. I wanted to talk to you quickly about what in the world got you into law enforcement? Like, of everything you could be. Shayna and I joke that we don't even know what we want to be sometimes every day. So how did you know this was what you wanted to do?
I was not wanting to go local law enforcement. When I was a kid in high school, you probably the principals would have never said, yeah, that's what Sarah's going to do. I was always in trouble talking, and, I had good grades, but my mouth never stopped. I was always, it talks too much, on the report card. I kind of tossed around. I'm like, I want to go federal. I want to work for the FBI, CIA. I want to do something in federal law enforcement. Went away to college, swore I'd never come back to Lake County, and
We all do that.
and I came back, and I started working for my dad's construction company, and I was a superintendent checking jobs, and it wasn't a passion, but he paid me pretty well, and I enjoyed working with family. During that time, I got called for jury duty, and it was like the boom of construction before 2008. So it was before things kind of tapered off for a little bit. And I remember my dad saying, you cannot be on jury duty. Like, I need you here at work. Well,
Us at work.
I know.
you can't leave. I'm like, it's jury duty. I have to
gotta
show
go.
up. I've got to go. Well, it was the Wayne Kester case where
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, wow.
Jason Wheeler killed Wayne Kester and shot Tom Crotty and Tom McCain. Well, I thought, no way they're going to choose me. I was, a younger female. I was working on my bachelor's degree at the time in psychology. Well, the judge, asked, hey, do you have any clinical experience? I said, well, I bartended for a while. I cut up, told a joke. I'm like, they're never going to pick me. So I was the first juror called. I'm like, oh no, my dad is going to kill me. I am on this jury now. So I say all that to say during that trial, I witnessed some of the deputies come up and give testimony in the passion they had for their fellow officers and for the community. Lee Cheshire was one of the ones that really got to me, and he was over the SWAT at the time. And I just remember thinking, I would work for that guy. Like, he really cared about his people, and it was the trial was, heartbreaking. And I've since known the family, but that was what made me go, hey, I'm going to go local, and then I'll go federal. But I ended up going local, and Tavares offered, and I went to Tavares, and I had applied other places and offered, but Tavares is my home, born and raised there. So I wanted to go see that through for a little bit,
Right.
I was actually task forced to the sheriff's office, the narcotics unit, the CCIB, and I worked for Lee for a little while.
Oh, wow.
And I told him that story, and he, if you ever knew him, he's passed away since, but he's like, oh, shut up. Like, he was so humble, he didn't want to hear it, but he really did. Well, watching his testimony, that made me want to go local. And I told my boss at the time, hey, I'll give you 3 years, but I'm going to go federal. And you see where I am now. I didn't go federal, and I really did. Just the more I worked at Tavares and the more opportunities I had and continued to develop into a leadership role, it's my home. And I get to be a part of that continued growth, and I get to be a part of seeing our community appreciate law enforcement and feel like they're connected. So.
I love
That's
that.
a great
Yeah,
story,
that
and
is a
it
great
just shows
story.
you never know who you're impacting.
Yeah.
In the smallest ways, doing your job, you never know who you're going to
He
encounter.
didn't know some girl on the jury was going to come
And I
work
love
for him
that
one
you
day.
were that
Isn't
you
that
were
awesome?
cracking a joke and
Yeah.
thinking that would get, you know what I mean?
Thought it'd get me out of it.
Yeah,
I don't want
of
to be on
course.
duty.
Real quick before I forget, is your dad Val Coursey?
That was my grandpa.
That's your grandpa. Okay, yeah.
Jody was my dad. So
Jody's your dad, yeah.
Jody and Val.
That construction company's been around a long time.
1970. He retired 3 years ago and finished on my house.
I knew I was like,
My last house.
I remember that name. I know that name. I know that name. Yeah.
He told me I did him in. He's like, you know what? I'm done. I'm retired now. You're a pain.
Right.
So it was the last house
Years
he ever
ago
built.
in the mortgage business, when I did mortgages, I financed houses
Okay.
for them. So I knew I recognized your last name when you said that. I'm
And
like,
when you
I
said
know that.
construction, I was like, that's what it is. I knew. Yeah. Yeah.
So we've been around Lake County forever. So
Yeah.
it is very, I guess the word cool to be able to say, hey, I went to all the Tavares schools, elementary,
Right.
middle, high school. My parents had a business in Tavares. And now,
Yeah.
I run a police department that can positively impact the city I grew up in. So,
And
really,
I do love that. And I think it's, I know we joke about how we go off to school and then we're like, we're not coming back. But then we do. But
you appreciate it more.
Yeah.
You really do. And I think that's my thing. I know when we talked to Tyler Brandenburg that time from the school board, and I actually taught him when he was younger, but I think I want our young people to come back here. We want them to want to be here.
Yeah.
And
And I
be in
think
this
having
community.
really strong roots helps. And when you're younger, like we said on one of the breaks, like I grew up in Sumter County. So having really strong roots there keeps you out of trouble, so to speak, because everybody knows you. And then you want to run from it, kind of, when you go to school, you want to run from it. But then that is what keeps you strong and keeps you grounded and keeps you who you are. Like, it's a part of who we are. So I think that's really cool. And I love it when a local person that has roots here, is vested here, is making decisions for the city and for the people, because it's your city, it's your
Right.
people.
You have that good intention there
It's
behind
personal.
it. You're not from somewhere else that you don't have the
Right.
the impact on the community. And my daughter was like that. Like you said, you can't go anywhere without knowing.
Yep.
Anywhere we go, she's like, Mom, can we go somewhere that you don't know somebody? I say, girl, you can't get away with anything.
No.
Nope.
I
You
couldn't
grow
either.
up, they're gonna
It's even
call
worse
me.
now in
Yeah.
this generation.
Well, and my grandfather was a big part of downtown Leesburg when he was alive. But growing up, I grew up next door to the chief of police of Leesburg. He was my next door neighbor, Chuck Idell. So literally, there was no way. Like it would have been just horrific if I had done something and then my parents got that knock on the door from the, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my gosh. But it is, everybody knows you. I'm telling you, as big as it gets, you will still run into at least one person you know when you go somewhere.
And it's always my luck. It's when I've left the gym and I'm looking
always.
horrible and I go into
your
Publix
worst,
and
yep.
someone says, don't I know you? I'm like, great.
Yep.
No, I don't think you.
No, wrong person. Sorry.
Yeah, I got recognized in Publix last night over the podcast, and my hair was in a ponytail, no makeup. Looked,
I know, right?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's me. Thank you for watching. But yeah, so you're right, and our kids, because my son's the same way, because I do know everybody, and he's like, can we just go through the store without you talking to somebody?
Not going to happen.
I'm like, I can't do it. I have to say hi, and I'm not going to be one of those people that if I do see somebody, I'm not going to say hi or,
Right. You give
I
them that
have
time.
to. I have to.
I know, but I love it. I do love, I think, again, it's a thing of coming home and realizing that it's nice to be somewhere where you know people and you have,
We all
have
go.
relationships,
Yeah, we all go through stages in lives where we want to blend in and don't want to be seen. But then I think the older we get, the more we appreciate it.
You do it. I mean, we didn't have as much going on back then either, growing up. There
We
was
could
a
be
lot more
tracked
orange groves.
by satellites.
Well, my parents had no idea where we were half the
Oh,
time.
that was the best part of that generation. I'm going to be completely honest with you, because if they'd had cell phones and Life 360, I would
God.
have been in trouble.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't be sitting in this chair, in
Exactly.
this position. So
Yeah.
that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
If they'd have known I was
we had nothing to do now.
out in the middle of Tally Box at 1 o'clock in the
Right.
morning with Boone's Farm in my hand, it really could have gone very, very
There's
badly.
not taking social media pictures. And,
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Free to
there's
live
not
on
evidence.
forever.
There's not
Right.
evidence of our stupidity.
Yeah,
from
we'd
our
go
younger
get
years.
tickets from the AMC movie theater, say we went to the movie.
Yes. I was
We
staying
were
at
invested.
so-and-so's house and they were staying, you know what I mean? Yeah.
They didn't call each other's parents
No.
because it was just landline.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That was
these
the
kids
best
don't
time.
know that. I track mine down to the
Oh, me too.
millimeter.
I know. My son said, "Mom, were there really commercials in the '80s that said, 'Parents, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids
Children,
are?'"
yeah.
And I'm like, "Yes, there were." And I thought I had really great parents.
We did have great
But
parents, but they did let you loose. Like we would go out. I know, like Christine, Idell,
home
and I,
by dark
like we
or-
would all get on bikes. We would ride somewhere. We would be gone for hours upon hours, and then we just showed back up.
When it was dark.
Yeah.
Come back in for dinner and
That was it. Like it wasn't. I don't know. And my kids were tracking me, and I finally had to say, listen, I'm turning my location off because if you call me one more time and ask me to stop and get you Chick-fil-A because I'm right there, or tell me my phone's almost dead, or I'm like, that's not how this works.
No, mine did it last night. She saw I was at a Mexican restaurant. Can you bring me home a taco? I'm like,
Yes.
Stop tracking me.
Exactly.
Exactly. All right, we're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Nobody wants an aging family member who is unable to care for themselves to be home alone. Lake Center Home Care believes the best healing happens when you are most comfortable. The company provides exceptional personal care in the comfort and privacy of your own home. Whether you need skilled nursing, physical therapy, home health aides, or companion services, your loved ones will enjoy peace of mind knowing you're being taken care of and treated with respect and dignity. Lake Center Home Care is locally owned and managed with a team of highly qualified professionals who are passionate about taking care of their neighbors. Call 352-315-0050 or visit golchc.com to learn more about this amazing company.
Welcome back to the Style Podcast. Joining us today is Chief of Police of Tavares, Sarah Coursey. Thank you again for joining us. I know we've talked about a little bit of everything, but who's Sarah? Who is the Sarah that we don't know, that we don't see behind the uniform?
I mean, I'm a mom, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm a friend. I mean, coach, I'm involved with my kids' softball and any extracurricular activity. But outside, I mean, I like to snowboard. I like to go out in the boat. I go to the gym. I'm not just a uniform. And that's, to me, it's, you got to have work-life balance. And I tell my officers that when I first swear them in, I have a whole speech that says, don't overinvest. Yes, you're proud to wear the badge and the city patch. I mean, that's the job you do, the career you have. It's what your passion is that you love, but you have to have things that are outside of that make you who you are. Because at any given time, if this job goes away or, this title's taken, I still have to be Sarah. I still have to be the mom, the daughter, the sister, the friend, the coach, the mentor. You know, not overinvest in a career, because one day I'm going to retire. And I want to be able to say, all right, I did that. I loved it. It was, you know, a passion of mine to see the city grow and develop. But now I get to focus on all the fun. So I try to focus on some of the fun while I'm at work too. And I tell my team that if there's a vacation, please take it. The time with your family, you can't get that back. You can't get the childhood memories back. You don't want to miss those times.
You really don't, because there you can't get them back. And I think that is one. And I will say this: I think sometimes and I'm funny about the female thing too. We talked about this off air. I never, ever, ever. If I get a job or I get a position, I really want it to be because I'm Shayna and I'm qualified, and you think I'll do a great job.
Yep.
I can't stand anyone ever thinking I got it because of that. But at the same time, women, when we want to excel in careers and we're moms, it is a balance. It's a real juggle. But I think it's a good example to our kids too. But it is something that you have to be real careful. Like, you know, you're trying to do great here, trying to do great here. I mean, I hope I have done.
Remembering who we are, yeah.
But that's another thing. You do want to remember, like you said, you like to snowboard. You're still Sarah. Even outside of being a mom and the chief of police, like, we're still people. We're not
you
just
still
those.
have a life outside of that. And I mean, I was a single mom, working full-time at Tavares, putting myself through college. And I got my master's degree as my kid is, you know, hey, Mom, can we go to the play? Can we go here? I'm like, after I finish, you know. So I had to juggle that on top of, you know, because I wanted to be able to, like you said, I got the job not because I'm a woman, but because I have these advanced degrees and these certifications.
You're qualified.
And
You're
I'm
qualified.
right?
You're qualified.
And I never brag about what I have or what I've done or the accomplishments, because my resume should speak for itself.
Yeah,
of
You know,
course.
and I have my daughter to be able to say, hey, Mom did all this while she worked full time, while she was still there for me. And hopefully she sees that. Unfortunately, I didn't get to walk during graduation for my master's. It was during COVID time. So I had finished during all that, so they canceled. I'm like, I never walked for any other degrees, but I said, you know, this one I'm going to walk.
You worked
and it
hard.
got canceled.
What is your master's in?
It's criminal justice with an emphasis of public administration.
Love it, yeah. And masters, they're a whole. It is. It's one of those things.
I'm still paying for it.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I got my master's with, I had my daughter on my spring break, and she was there. She was one when I graduated, when I walked. So I know. And Shayna, the same thing.
I
She
was
got hers
teaching
as an
school.
adult. So that's important to us, that we have good examples for our kids and show them, you know what, you can do it. You can do anything.
You can better
wanna
yourself
do.
continuously throughout life.
I've actually read studies that show, or read articles that say studies show that kids of moms that do, regardless of what it is, whether just when they have success and they see the drive and everything, that they want to emulate it.
Right.
And I think that's important. Whether you want to be a stay-at-home mom, be the best stay-at-home mom you can be, whatever you want to be, but they emulate the drive that we have.
Teaches them the independence and the wherewithal to say, hey, I can put my mind to it, I can juggle it all, and you know,
Right.
I hope that she does that one day. Whatever she chooses to do, but
Right.
she can do it.
Exactly.
Tell me
Nothing to
this,
hold you
where do you
back.
snowboard at? Because we know that we did have snow earlier this year in Tallahassee.
Did not drive up to Tallahassee. to
We
snowboard,
did.
Yeah.
And listen, I have to tell you the funniest story. The greatest part, I'm a huge FSU fan, but I will say this. Those kids they just have fun all the time. They were sledding, but they were using lids to garbage cans. And remember the one kid?
National Lampoon's
Rubbermaid?
Christmas Vacation.
Yes, it was amazing. They're building
Yeah.
these little tiny snowmen.
Yeah.
I wanted to make a snow angel, but it was literally not soft.
Yeah.
It was like ice.
Ice.
Her poor dog shook her dog, and the poor dog's feet were burning because
wouldn't
it
even go to
was
the
ice
bathroom
was
on
so
it.
cold.
Poor thing, yeah.
So you're a native Floridian. So
Yes,
how did you
born
end
and
up
raised.
snowboarding?
We were kids. We would go out to Colorado. My parents started us, like at 10 years old. We went out for a family vacation, and I was hooked. I was skiing first. You know, I can ski, but I wanted to switch to snowboard because I'm a surfer too. I like to surf over in New Smyrna, so I kind of wanted to be on the one board. And so now, when I get time, I fly out to Colorado. I like Breckenridge the most. So we go out to Breckenridge. It's walkable. Now my daughter, I've taken her, and now I've got her hooked to where I can't go without her. If I try to go, she's tagging along, man.
Because it's not like she can do it next Saturday here.
Right.
Do you still surf? Mm-hmm. That's
Not
so
as
funny.
much as I'd like.
Well, my husband's a surfer.
Okay.
Now, he used to go to Costa Rica and stuff. The funniest thing, though, is you said New Smyrna. We met. He's quite a bit older. No. I was 19, he was 26. And I remember we just started dating and he like just didn't call me back. And he was the first shark bite of the year.
Okay. What year?
I was 19. I just turned 50. So however many years ago, I'm really tired right now.
Bad with math right now. So
But
yeah, I can't do it.
it was so funny because he called in sick to work.
Yeah. So my dad was a 12th shark bite in 2007.
Oh
I
my
was surfing
gosh.
with him. Yeah, he got bit on the hand. I was surfing with him, and I paddled out after. He went to the hospital. I'm like, well, what's the chances of two people in the same
Well,
family
that's-
getting bit? So I kept surfing.
I say that all
She
the
says that,
time.
but see, my theory is no. I've never been bit, so I don't. But he was, he was actually, his dad was a superintendent for Jet Riley for a custom home builder, and Jimmy worked for them, and he called in sick to go surfing in New Smyrna.
Oh, no.
And he
got caught.
felt something hit his leg. He was like a little above knee deep, and lifted his leg. It was like a 5-foot black tip. Well, it missed his Achilles by this much. And the news show up, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I'll interview with you, but you cannot put it on until 5. I have to get home and tell my dad so I don't get fired. Yeah, they put it on at noon. It's totally over. That's why he hadn't called yet. He's like, look in the newspaper. Back in that day, we still had newspapers. I was like, so that's funny. He
gets a pass.
he gets a pass for that one. But so New Smyrna, is that where you do it mostly? Have you been into any other bigger places?
Yeah, I
or
mean, I've
anything?
went to Costa Rica as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
New
you
Smyrna was
are
fun.
brave. Snowboarding, surfing.
Police chief, that's, yeah.
Because I am
I like
scared.
to listen if I wakeboard, anything outdoors,
Yeah.
water. Like I like to stay
I
active.
do love the water. I'm just a little concerned about the things under it, and I don't agree with the statistical probability that if I'm standing next to you and you've been shark pit, that I can't be.
Yeah, I stick with that. And because I love everything in Lake County, in the water, on the water. And Shayna's like, no, don't get in the water.
Not in the lakes. I'm sorry, the
I do.
alligators scare me.
See, I grew up in these lakes,
Me
so I
too.
kind
I
of
did too, but
snakes
I
bother
learned
me
how to
more.
wakeboard on Lake Griffin.
Okay, yeah.
And
there's-
you know how I can remember them being like, "Don't let go, not right here."
Just keep
Don't let
going. One just went under.
Yeah. But we are blessed to have such a great place to be
We do,
outdoors. at.
outdoors.
Right, there's so much to do.
There
And
is.
there's, we go out to the Glen and we go, out to these chain of lakes and
Mm-hmm.
try to stay active. And I mean, I live on a lake, so we're constantly outside and doing something in the water. If it rains, I'm stuck inside and I
Right.
don't know what to do with myself. I'll have
Yeah.
to clean the house, I guess.
I know, and I hate
That's not fun.
That's
No.
I don't want to do that on the weekend.
Yeah.
No. And I stand by too that Florida's my favorite place.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, the sun's shining.
People come here to vacation.
I'd rather be hot than cold.
Same. Like when I'm snowboarding, I bundle up. I prepare for it, but I hate being cold.
Well, I think isn't it a different cold?
It's
out there?
drier. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a dry
so
cold.
here it's
Here's
like-
colder when it's wet. It's wet cold.
chill to your bone. Tallahassee was really cold.
Yeah,
when
it was
snowed.
cold.
But I love that we got to know more about you as a
Yes.
person. Because again, I think it is so many people are like, okay, they're in charge, the chief, they're the CEO, they're the main person, and it's nice to humanize.
You can't take yourself too seriously. You can have a serious job, but you still have to remember at the end of the day, take that hat off.
Right.
I take it off when I get home. Like my daughter doesn't see any type A side, well, it's unless she's in trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right,
mean? I
yeah.
can't say more of
They
a.
all see that, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to make those decisions when you get home. You can go carefree and have fun. But
Yeah, I
thank you
love
for
that.
having me.
Thank you for
We'd
joining
love to have
us
you back.
today. Thank you for joining us on the Style Podcast today. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Disability Consultants and Lake Center Homecare, and we'd also like to thank our presenting sponsors, Plaza Cadillac and Plaza Lincoln. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next time.
Get all the Social Security disability benefits you deserve with disability consultant Jeff Bell. Our experienced Florida certified ADR handle claims on a contingency fee basis, meaning you don't pay unless we recover money for you. We have established a strong reputation as a firm that cares and provides the best care to its clients. Call us today or visit cbell.com.
I just loved her.
That was a great interview. I know we didn't focus on the female thing, but it really is a big deal that
I think it's a big deal for me. It's
For
not
us,
a big deal
because-
that she's female, just in general. For me,
No.
what's the biggest deal about it is, if I were to pick what it is that where we are.
right.
Because typically in Lake County,
Well, and we're of the generation, I'm of the generation, I'm a few years older than you, that we still had
we do, yeah.
the masculine thumb on our head. So I really had to prove who I was
Yeah.
as a human being. Younger years, I can't wait till it doesn't matter at all. But I love that. I love that.
Well, and I love that she, you know what, I'm going to be honest, and I hope, Sarah, please don't get mad at me for saying this. I'm going to tell you what I loved most? She was, you can tell, she runs a tight ship. She knows what she's doing. She is so qualified.
Yep.
But she was also cool to talk to, and it was nice to talk to a female in a leadership position that I could, like, I love that her nails were painted. And I know that seems silly,
human,
but I think that I love when females are, like, they embrace both sides of life.
I agree.
And I think you can. I guess that's why I'm so funny about never want someone to give me anything because I'm a female.
No.
Because I can promise you this 9 times out of 10, and I love my male friends and everything. But we really are, like, we are very detail-oriented typically and have great ideas, and I want to be known for that. You know what I mean? I never think you should ever be hired based on your gender, your race, anything like that. Like, it should be who you are as a person and your qualifications.
I agree.
And she's
an example of that happening in Lake County.
And happening, perfect fit. I love that she's from here, and it's so funny because I knew exactly, as soon as she said that about construction, I used to drive by Val Coursey all the time. It's right there in Tavares. I was like, oh my gosh, that's her family. She's amazing. I'm going to stand by the fact, too, I love their social media page.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.